Oh, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston. You know, we're a Gabby group, and that's a good thing because that means there's so much good energy in here that we cannot help but want to connect with one another and share. And welcome to everybody that's joining us online now or at a later time. We want you to all know that you are welcome here at Unity. Everyone is welcome here at Unity. We want to honor that as we move into this time of February. We're acknowledging Black History Month. It's a very powerful time for us to acknowledge, and it'll be important in our conversation today about our lesson because it represents an aspect of our society that maybe didn't always get honored in the way that they deserve, not just maybe did not get honored in who and what they were, and many cultures. So we are grateful for this time to honor Black History Month and to start and continue, continue our journey. I'll get my words going right here in a minute. This is a warm-up. Our journey through the gifts of winter. This has been a beautiful season, and we do have a couple handouts you're going to be getting at the end of the day today. One was supposed to go out last week with questions, but you'll get it this week. You can still apply it. There's plenty of winter time left, according to whatever. The groundhog, yeah. All right, welcome to Unity. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based upon the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. We often acknowledge it as metaphysical Christianity, metaphysical interpretation of Christianity and interpretation of the Bible. It's a big piece of what we offer as well. Unity honors the spiritual truths, universal truths that are in every teaching, and it's a beautiful thing, and we honor everyone's right to choose the path that works for them. We had a wonderful experience this last week with the Epiphanies of Respect with our St. Thomas the Apostle Episcopal Church and their members joining us here to learn more about Unity, and it was just really great fun. And we're going to have them back to teach us about their Episcopalian ways at some point so that we can expand our knowledge about one another and embrace and honor all those different respect for those different teachings. So we are grateful you're here. So today, our affirmation, one of my favorite words of the day, joy. So together, joy is mine through all the seasons of life. All right, this one's a little more complex, and you guys ready? El gozo me acompaña lo largo de todos las etapas de mi vida. I have to see that little letter that was in white. I couldn't see it. All right, so we are really holding the joy in our heart, and let's join together by singing. Let's rise and join Ellen and Art.
Let's go. This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in. Let them hear you outside. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Now dance when you sing it. This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord had. This time smile and look at each other. This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad. Let me hear you sing it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. that counts as some of your steps. So there you have it. You're welcome.
Wow, that was some fantastic energy, wasn't it? What a great way to start the service. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dawn Pence, and I am so glad you joined us today, whether you're here in person or watching us on the live stream. Let us begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in me, God the good omnipotence. Prayer is the core practice that Unity teaches, our constant connection to the divinity. Our prayer chaplains pray for your requests for 30 days, and they're also sent to Silent Unity to be prayed on at the same time. The prayer request forms are in the foyer. Today's prayer chaplains are the amazing Mary Helen Merzbacher to my left, woohoo, and the amazing Trish Rear to my right. And you can meet these beautiful ladies. You can meet Trish by the prayer room for one-on-one prayer after the service, and Mary Helen's going to lead us in a group prayer before our meditation. And our digital viewers, whether you seek peace or have gratitude to express, please click on the Request Prayer button in your bulletin, or you can leave us a prayer through Facebook Messenger. And now we're going to center in for a reading of the Prayer Chaplain Blessing of the Month by Mary Helen, followed by Reverend Kyra with opening prayer. Mary Helen.
Thank you. Thanks, Dawn. Good morning, everybody. I'm wearing these flowers. Sarah brought them. I have to tell this little story real quick. Yesterday, we went to Houston, some of us, to do drumming with Ciabatta. And before we went by Govinda's, which is the Hare Krishna, I believe, temple, and had some Indian food. And so we wanted to go see the temple, so we went up to the temple door, but they were closed. We were a little bit late. And they were so upset that they couldn't accommodate us to show us around the temple that they came chasing after us. Hey, hey! And they gave us candy and flowers. And they had these flowers from the from the deities that they bring and embellish with flowers every day, and so they gave us these, and they're a little faded now, but I thought they were worth a try. So I'll pick up my mess. I hope that you all received in your text the February prayer chaplain letter. And if you don't, we need to be sure and get your name on the prayer list from the chaplains. They put this letter out every month. We lift into the light of our awareness and appreciation of our role-playing group, RPG they call themselves. Its participants apply Unity principles in fictional storytelling situations. We are grateful for the many benefits of RPG, which include enhancing a sense of belonging, so important, social skills, cooperation, teamwork, leadership, and problem solving in a fun and interactive setting. We're also grateful for the ability of RPG to enhance players' connections to the 12 spiritual powers of our divine nature, described by Charles Fillmore: faith, strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, release, and life. You can see those on the parking lot outside. What a blessing to connect with the divine through play. In light and love from your prayer chaplain, RPG folks. Blessings. Thank you.
I love the power of prayer in all the ways that it works in our world. Sometimes it's not in the timing we think is supposed to happen, but we know that prayer truly moves in and has its way that it moves and brings things to a higher perception. So let us open ourselves to that higher perception by turning in prayer right now, in this moment, to say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you, divine of all the names. Thank you, God, for all the ways that you are answering prayers in our everyday experience. Every moment we are opening to the realization of you being present here and now and in every aspect of the journey. And we allow this presence to move us and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I am here as a presence of life and love. I am here as that divine awareness. And it is alive and living. And we say we are grateful for the way that you are alive and moving us into harmony in our energetic temple, in our physical temple, in our emotional temple, and our spiritual realization of our I am. And as we affirm these truths, that I am one with this everlasting spirit. I am one with the infinite source of creation. I am one with life itself, of that energy. And our Christ consciousness says, yeah, says, yes. We are here to be an example of Christ consciousness, of divine light in this world. And we allow that infinite source to move through and bring forth the power and the presence within us. And we bless not only ourselves, but then as a blessing upon this world, we send forth this love of the divine, this love of the infinite, this love that cannot help but exude through us out into our world. We bless our children, our teens, our teachers. We bless each one serving in this ministry. We bless this world, this community, that all may know and feel the power of that divine light within them and awaken now to the realization of their oneness. And we create together peace, harmony, and it begins within each of us. And I say thank you, and you say thank you together. Thank you, and so it is. Amen. And yes.
Yes. All right, announcement time. This week's announcements and all participation links can be found in your Sunday e-bulletin, which was sent this morning. Please visit the connection table in the foyer to sign up for our many events. First announcement is about the Unity Women's Ministry and Potluck. It's meeting this Tuesday. So bring a dish to share and enjoy the company of your favorite wild Unity women. So Susan Devine Napoli, Susan's over here, and professional organizer Gina Watts, so she's bringing along a professional organizer too. They're going to be sharing organization strategies to free the energy in your homes. Yeah, time to release some things, right? Bring some good energy into our homes. So that's this, and it's at 6 o'clock this Tuesday. The next one, oh, I know we're ready for this. Love is in the air. Yep. Woo! This Saturday, February 10th, with heavy hors d'oeuvres, sparkling beverages, a silent auction, and the Keith Vivens Trio. Woo! So get your tickets in the bookstore or online. They're $30 each. You can get them today. Just go see the bookstore folks. And also know that we have received the donation of 23 silent auction items. Wow. So remember last year we did services. There are different services that are available, and we're going to have amazing assortment of services that you can bid on Saturday. So come dance with us. Next, the Unity Men's Group, they're going to gather at Bao's Chinese in League City on Tuesday, so it'll be a following Tuesday, the 13th at 6:30. So see Tom Kaywood, who's right over here, or Roger Moorfield, also beautiful, amazing people, if you want any details. And then lastly, it is time for our new membership drive. Reverend Kyra is offering 2 opportunities to take the first step on the journey toward Unity Bay Area Houston membership. You can sign up to attend either Tuesday, February 20th, and that'll be in the evening at 7 p.m., or if that doesn't work, you can come on Saturday, the 24th at 10 a.m. So new members then will be celebrated on Sunday, the 25th, February 25th, during our 10:30 service. And those are our announcements. Now please join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation.
Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth.
In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now. Take it away, music team.
Well, first, who was here on Monday night? Could you raise your hand if you were here on Monday night for the Epiphanies of Respect? Did you also absolutely love and enjoy sharing our mission, vision, core values with the folks that came? We all knew all the words. I was so proud of us. That was just such a cool experience. Kyra made an experience for them that let them see like the unity is statement and our version of the Lord's Prayer even. And it was amazing. It was amazing.
And Ellen did a great job singing. Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's enough of y'all. Stand up. Let's get holy, holy. And I'm not talking about my pants. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me know that love is all around. 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 Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me know that love will heal us all. Let me know that love will heal us all. Let me know that love will heal us all. Let me know that love will heal us all. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Amen.
I saw that in the e-bulletin and I had it in my head all morning before I got here. Welcome again, everyone. Thank you for being here and for sharing your unique personalities with us. I have a test question. By a show of hands, who started their 2024 Clean Out and Donate project? All right. And if you haven't, definitely come on Tuesday, right, for Susan's organization skill class. All right. So see, that was easy. Now, if you're here for the very first time, please raise your hand so that we may welcome you. Any first-timers? Welcome. Together, let's share our welcoming blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. So our new guests, you may have received a brochure and a sticker from a greeter. Looks like Domingo's coming right behind you to give you that. And if you didn't raise your hand, and now you know the goodies that you get, please do so, and a greeter will bring those to you. After you fill out the guest card on the back of the brochure, you can visit our welcome table in the back, and you can choose a welcome gift of your choosing after the service. And our first-time online viewers, you may connect with us through Messenger or on our Facebook page to choose your special gift. We'd love to connect you to our unique events and show you what we mean when we say we are living relevant spirituality now. And now let's center in for a reading of today's Daily Word by Eugenia Moorfield.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, today, Sunday, February 4, 2024. The word is joy. Joy is mine through all the seasons of life. Throughout my life, joy is always part of me. Like the sun that is always shining, even when obscured by clouds, joy is there in my happiest moments and also during my dark times. It keeps me present to life as it unfolds, responsive and adaptive, accepting what I cannot change and having the courage to change what I can. Much more than a feeling, joy is part of me, a way to feel the presence of God and live from my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted in peace and wholeness, and the wings that help me soar through the open skies of imagination and choice. My spiritual identity has its foundation in the divine idea of joy. I carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. And remember from the Bible, it says such as, "You show me that path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy." Psalms 16:11. And if you may allow, I will read it in Spanish as well. Gozo, domingo 4 de febrero de 2024. El gozo me acompaña a lo largo de todas las etapas de mi vida. A lo largo de mi vida, el gozo ha sido parte de mi ser. Al igual que el sol brilla incluso cuando las nubes lo ocultan, el gozo está presente tanto en mis momentos felices como en los desafiantes. Observo la vida con gozo, adaptándome a ella, aceptando lo que no puedo cambiar y teniendo el valor de cambiar lo que puedo. Más que un sentimiento, el gozo es una manera de experimentar la presencia de Dios y vivir desde mi espiritualidad. El gozo es el fundamento que me mantiene en equilibrio, con paz y plenitud, y también con las alas que me impulsan a surcar los cielos de la imaginación y las posibilidades. Mi identidad espiritual se basa en la idea divina de gozo y la llevo conmigo donde quiera que voy y en todo lo que hago. De la Biblia. Con tu presencia me llenas de alegría. Estando a tu lado seré siempre dichoso. Salmo 16:11. Y que Dios los bendiga. God bless you all. Thank you.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive.
We hold today those that may not be here for any reason, that especially if it has to do with their health or the health of their loved ones. We call to mind anybody that in our family or our circle of friends, in our country, in our world, that we know is in need of prayer. And we bring all those people, the old, the young, into our consciousness, and we bring them blessings and love and the greetings of the higher realm. So please, to yourself now, reach into that part of your heart where you find your higher power, if it's light, if it's love, if it's Jesus, if it's God. And let's lift up those names, those people we love so much, everyone included. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for letting me pray with you. Amen.
And as we continue into this time of prayer, we open ourselves even more to say yes to Spirit, yes to that divine source that is coming through and gentling away the resistance or tension or thoughts that keep us from being fully present right here and now. Allow yourself to quiet your mind, turn within. And it can still chatter in the background if it chooses, but your focus, your attention is on the light that is within you, on the divine awareness that informs you, on the Christ consciousness that is you. And as we begin to turn within, we gentle away tension from behind our eyes and the top of our head. We begin to feel our jaw relax and the roof of our mouth, the back of our tongue and our neck and our shoulders just let go. As we continue to allow this energy of light, this awareness of the divine that we are come through, we let go of our need to hold anything, any tension, any thought, any feeling. We allow it to just wash through. That the divine in us is clearing and opening and expanding our inner awareness. That we remember the truth, that we are one with this everlasting love, are one with everlasting life. And as we remember these truths, we feel the power of this joy that is the core of our essence, that we are an embodied joy. So as we feel that as the ground of our being, we can let go and let God have its way in us this day. If you need to shake your body out, shake out any energy that you need to get out, to allow that divine source to source you, free you from those places of resistance or struggle or doubt or suffering where the mind takes over. We let go and know that we are right here, right now, in this one presence and power, feeling it. And we move inward in ways that allow us to sit in the silence and experience the power and presence that is within us in all that it wishes to express. And we say thank you as we go to silence. As we feel the power of this, continue to hold this sacred space, this sacred knowing, that we are one with all of creation, every being of the earth and the sky and the lands and the waters, with every element of creation. The seen and the unseen are unified in us now. And we feel the power of this unity consciousness and this unified field of awareness. And as we activate this, we are activated at a level of soul and awareness and healing and light, that our wholeness is known. And we say thank you. Thank you for helping us to remember that we are now and always have been whole and free. And we feel the power of this moving through to be exactly who we are being here and now, who we are created to be. And as we allow that awareness, we bring our conscious communion back here and now, to where we feel the energy of this space and one another and the beauty of this moment where we share together words of our Lord's Prayer from an Aramaic translation. Together. Beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen and yes. While we're doing that, I'm going to just invite us for a minute. I'd like you all to hold special prayers this week. Our Unity Worldwide Ministries is hosting our annual summit in Unity Village up in Lee Summit, Missouri, and I'll be flying out tomorrow morning to participate. Some of you have known that I recently joined last year the board of the Unity Worldwide Ministries, and as a result, I also, in that process, we've had some changeovers, and I am now the secretary of the board on the executive team. We know that whenever I get into anything, I'm immediately moved into something else, you know. So I should just accept that's how that is. And but we would love your prayers to hold the whole unity movement as we explore and express all the things that are within us to identify who are we now in this day and time, and how do we best serve our unity movement and all of those churches and ministers and congregants that are out there in this world. And so if you would just lift us in prayer this week as we hold this time. We have some of us coming together in person. Many will be joining online, and we're looking forward to a very powerful convention conference that's only for 2 days. It's for Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'll be back here before next Sunday, so I look forward to seeing you here then, and back here before next Saturday for the fun of the, can't miss that. But thank you for holding that, and we're going to turn this over now to Ellen and Art.
Then the rainstorm came over me, and I felt my spirit break. I had lost all of my belief, you see. And realized my mistake. But time threw a prayer to me, and all around me became still. I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Through the rainstorm came sanctuary. And I felt my spirit fly. I have found all of reality. I realize what it takes, 'cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. Love can help me know my name. Well, I tried to say there's nothing wrong, but inside I felt me lying all alone. The message here is plain to see. Believe me. 'Cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me hold my name. I'm gonna say that again. I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I have been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Love can help me know my name.
Thank you, Ellen and Art, another of my all-time favorites that I chose for our theme today specifically. We are in the midst of our journey through the gifts of winter and really looking at what does it mean to go into that winter time experience within our own being, within our own soul, into a place where we go into the quiet time. We hibernate, so to speak. We turn within and we find the power of this time. And this is an important message for winter because we do need to follow those rhythms, as we've talked about, the rhythms of the seasons. And this is a rhythm that moves us into a deep, profound inner space. And we've been looking at that throughout this season, and it's a beautiful thing. And today is a very important, not always well appreciated or received experience when we're talking about embracing our shadow. This is such an important part, and we're going to talk a little about what does that mean to embrace our shadow today. What is the shadow, first of all? I want to recognize that because we're going deep, we also means we're going to explore the darkness. It means that place where we have the dark night of the soul, where we go in and we find truths and awareness about ourselves that we may not have always honored. You know, Jung first coined the phrase shadow, and he referred to the parts of the personality that have been rejected out of fear, ignorance, shame, or lack of love. Whew. His basic notion of the shadow was simple. The shadow is the person you'd rather not be. Now, according to Jung, everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. And at all counts, it forms an unconscious snag. We'd say there's static on the line, right? We struggle with our connection, to feel ourselves connected to God, to feel ourselves connected to one another. And we have static in the way that we're experiencing it. It thwarts our most well-meant intentions. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Now, I love this because we are in a process of truly opening to our true spiritual nature. And to live from our spiritual light, we also have to embrace the dark. You can imagine that, dark and light is part of the duality that we are living in this world. And you sometimes only understand the light by the dark. He says instead of trying to suppress our shadows, we need to unconceal, own, and embrace the very things we are most afraid of facing. The shadow holds the secret of change, the essence of who we are, and it holds our most treasured gifts. Woohoo! All right. From another book called Dark Side of the Light Chasers, Debbie Ford talks about that our shadows exist actually to teach us, to guide us, and give us the blessing of our entire selves. Your life will be transformed when you make peace with your shadow. What I have experienced in my own life is when I don't acknowledge the things that are running me at a subterranean level, those shadow aspects I don't want to acknowledge, they sabotage my life. And I end up acting out in ways or expressing things or suddenly having an emotional hiccup that I got to watch that touching thing, that changes what I'm intending in a given moment. So it is very, very important. So the range of how far wide thinking we are, how open we are to the experience of the divine awareness, of the Christ consciousness, of the divine that is here in all of life, is based upon how limited we are by experiencing the shadow. If I'm only willing to experience this small range of things, the good and only the good, then I have eliminated aspects of what is available to me as a teacher, as a guide, as an expansion of my soul, as an expansion of my awareness of the divine. So often the shadow is those things about ourselves that we don't really consciously know or choose to know. And Carl Jung says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You'll say, oh, these things just happen to me. Right? Oh, things bad happen to me all the time. Why is it I draw this to me again and again, the same lesson over and over again? Because I've not actually embraced that side of my being. Now, we're going to talk about 4 different aspects of the shadow today. We're going to talk about the individual or personal shadow, the organizational shadow, the cultural shadow, and the collective shadow. Now, this is a big topic for us to do on a Sunday morning because there's a lot engaged, and we're going to give you a handout to take home to work through some of this on an ongoing basis. Once we say yes to embracing the shadow, we may have things arise that we don't actually like seeing about ourselves, right? Shake it out, We talk about this morning, our essence is joy, but our joy is not uncovered until we honor the parts of us that don't feel joy, that are angry or hurt or have other experiences. And when we ignore and try and push them down, have you ever tried to hold a beach ball underwater? I've talked about this before. You hold a beach ball underwater, it pops out in a distorted way with more force. Well, that's what happens to our shadow selves when we don't own and honor it. So in a book called Wild Mind by Bill Plotkin, he talks about the purpose of the shadow is to keep us safe, actually, through the repression or making unconscious of our characteristics and desires that are, for some reason, unacceptable or inconceivable to the ego. Uh-oh. Here we go, that edging God out aspect of ourselves, the ego that wants to be in charge and struggles to allow God to be God in us. We talk a lot about what it means to shine our light, to be the presence, but there's a part of that also is about owning everything that is within us, because otherwise we're only operating with a portion of our being. Shadow characteristics, now it's interesting, can either be negative. Don't think they're all negative. They can either be negative or they can be positive. How many of you have denied your own magnificence have denied what they call the golden shadow as well as the sinister shadow, right? When we admire others and we put them on a pedestal with all their characteristics and we say, oh, that's that godly person, or they're this, or they're this. We have all kinds of ways we affirm what is great about someone else because I'm not willing to accept that greatness within myself. Everybody breathe. So those are aspects. So shadow goes both sides of this equation. When we accept the shadow, we're also accepting all that we are and all that we can be. And that's an important part of our coming into our enlightened, to bring the light of the truth of being out. When I've got shadow in the way, that light can't shine all the way. So our golden shadow shows up to teach us also about our creative potential, about what's possible for us. Now, the ego, of course, is trying to just protect us. It's what its job is, to keep us safe, what it believes is safe in the world. So how do we retrieve those things that have left us not feeling completely whole? And we have to go into those dark places and own those experiences. Now, Bill Plotkin goes on. He uses a metaphor for the process. He says, visualize a part-time psychic bouncer whose job it is to toss out out of consciousness any element of our psyche not discerned to be respectable by the management. What's your psychic bouncer doing for you? Is it telling you it's not okay to claim your greatness? That's arrogance, right? Is it telling you, oh, you cannot claim being angry, or not claim that somehow I'm holding on to old pain and I haven't let it go, right? Oh, I want to deny that, you know. Instead, see, the boss of the establishment in this situation is every one of our families, our cultural setting. It can also be ourselves that we have given power to falsely, because the one power and the one presence that is alive within us is God. It's good. It's omnipotence. The divine did not design this universe and our lives to exclude the dark. It was to include. Out of the dark comes the light. And it is in this awareness that we're willing to go into those deep, dark places. Sometimes that's a challenge. When I was doing a lot of deep, I would call it was embracing my shadow, and I did it through a lot of inner child work. And I remember having a time where I was afraid to go into those emotions and feelings that were in there, that were in the dark. Because if I let them actually open up and come out, I didn't know if I was going to, I was so angry at the core that I was going to hurt myself or someone else. Or could I even come out of it? Was I going to go into anger and stay there? That was not my nature. But I had to go there and honor and experience and feel those things within me to set them free. This is the way we find inner freedom. We have to go in to free these prisoners of our belief system that we have held in bondage, whether it was diminishing ourselves or aggrandizing ourselves, or just doing what we'll talk in a minute is spiritual bypassing. I don't want to admit I have this because, oh, that's not holy, right? A lot of us don't want to admit that we have a particular feeling within us because somehow I'm not holy if I have anger or if I express these different things. So he says the initial goals of working with our sinister shadow are to uncover our unacknowledged negative traits, take responsibility for them, and learn to soften, maybe not eliminate them, but they will dissipate and cease to project them out onto others. Because when I don't own it myself, I project it onto you, and I create judgment in a critical mind. So this is, instead of my seeing from the eyes of God, seeing the truth of the divine that is within you, I'm seeing with those things that are denied within me. So, and when we deny our shadow, we're actually denying a passion that we have. So it's really important we do the work to go in and look at what is there. When I was working with oneness in university in India and working with our oneness guides and monks, one of the things that they taught us is to never deny what is there. You know, if we were taught to give oneness blessings, and when we're having the conversation with our divine at that moment and talking to God and saying, I really want you to bless this person because they're such a good person, or they need it the most, or no, I want it because I want to look good to them, all right, in this moment, because I want to feel like that this blessing is working, or maybe it's all of the above. But don't deny the truth of what we're experiencing and thinking and feeling in that moment. When you're talking, you know, one of the things they taught us there is when, you know, 3 people you don't lie to. Or maybe was it 2? Anyway, 3. Yourself, your lawyer, and your doctor, all right? Don't lie to them. Don't lie to yourself about what's the truth of what you're experiencing or why you want what you want. There's nothing wrong with it. We've been taught that it's good, it's bad, it's not good. And this is what we call metaphysical malpractice, when we start using that against ourselves or others. Now, organizationally in unity, our tendency our shadow often is spiritual bypassing. We're all about the light, the love, the joy, and we may not really be going in and honoring the feelings. When somebody has grief, you know, has lost a loved one, for example, that grief is real in the moment. It doesn't mean that they aren't a divine being. It doesn't mean that they don't carry joy in their soul. It means they're experiencing something in this moment, and it's real and it's authentic. And to be with one another in an authentic way is what Jesus was teaching us. You know, he was teaching to be authentic to what's here in this moment. So spiritual bypass is a term that describes attempts to rise above and deny, you know, unpleasant emotions, experiences, and realities in order to feel good and avoid discomfort and painful truths. Because the truth is they're still there, right? When we try to bypass, when we say, oh, let's all just be the peace and the light, not to say we're not going to get back there, we are, and it is the core of our essence, and the Christ consciousness is highly in tune with the truth of our being, but in this moment, I'm also feeling other things. I'm also experiencing this. And if I don't acknowledge that, at least to myself, it doesn't mean I go take it out on others. That's different. But if I don't admit and acknowledge that within myself, I don't ever heal. Have you had those moments when something's upset you and then you go round and round and round and round with it and you never stop? Because you haven't really processed what was there to get the gift and the lesson and the truth out of it. And when we come to that, oh, that pain I felt, I don't know whether anybody else, I don't need someone else to recognize it, to make it okay. I recognize it for myself and I experience. But when we bury these, then we become at this cultural, this organizational level, for example, we start having everybody act like they're all okay when they're not. And we become inauthentic with one another. And we can't really rise into our true Christ potential if we're not being true to ourselves. So this is such an important piece. Now, at a societal level, then we also have ways that we've denied our shadow. You know, when we talked about it being Black History Month, right? One of the shadows we struggle with is this whole understanding of the Black history and how that's worked and why is it? People go, yeah, but everybody's history matters. Well, of course it does. But we as a society have denied a certain group of people the right to express and be who they are and be honored for who they are completely. And now as we go into the shadow to accept our responsibility for that, we bring it forth in these ways. And people had this same argument. We had this conversation when we had courageous conversations led by Kathy Pell last year. And we talked about all, you know, Black Lives Matter. And there's the movement of, oh, but all lives matter. Yes, they do. Of course all lives matter. That is not up for, you know, a concern. We all know that. Every life matters. but we have denied the mattering of a particular culture, of a particular part of us. So when we deny any part of us, we deny an aspect of ourselves, because I am you and you are me and we are one, and we know this in the absolute, but we have to live into the responsibility to heal those parts of us where we have continued to perpetuate separation. Separation from one another represents our ideas of separation from God. We believe we're separate, rather than knowing we are one with this divine source, and it moves through me in ways that honors all of these different experiences and finds ways to help clear those. All right, so some of the things that we want to do then is to start to look at, the ways we may be bypassing our shadow and open to going into the depth of it and taking responsibility. What's mine to do to bring equity, to bring equanimity to everyone, not just equity, but equanimity. You know that difference? I don't have the slide with me today, but equity says that everybody gets the same, but that's not what everybody needs. And there's a great slide that shows the 4 different kids at the fence, right? And they have different size boxes that they're standing on to be able to see over the fence, right? And so every child, every person gets their needs met. That's a whole different kind of equanimity, of coming to a balance, coming to something that is a higher realization of how do we live in our world in peace and harmony and honor everyone. I want to go on because I wanted to get into that was the societal and the cultural, and then the collective. At the collective level, we may not clear our whole collective shadow in our individual group or even our little ministry here, right? But and as magnificent as we are at claiming that shadow, we have to know that the collective is big. The collective is a gathering of all the negative thoughts, feelings, energies that have ever existed. Now, it's not bigger than our God. It's not bigger than the Christ consciousness in us. So we need never deny that when we see what we do collectively to one another, that we do not need to get discouraged. But we do need to own what's my part. If I don't like the experience of war on my planet, how am I warring within myself? Where do I create separation and war with aspects of myself rather than recognize I am all divine, you are all divine. Everything that is there for a purpose in this moment. And if I'm having an experience where I'm feeling the power of that shadow, then I get to do my part to heal it. I get to do my part to heal those places in me where I still have judgment of others, where I still am critical of myself or others. See, this is where the divine then comes in to inform us. Are you going into the silence to allow that energy of the light, the energy of the divine to come through and inform you, because it will help you step out of those patterns. So listen to those who lead different lives from you. Learn from one another. Become curious and ask questions. All right, that's a really a powerful way to learn. We get so busy trying to prove I'm right, and we become righteous in the midst of that, that we don't actually learn from what someone else is sharing. Second, observe your own ingrained prejudice and negative conditioning. Ooh, this isn't necessarily the fun part. To say, yeah, I was conditioned to think this way. I was taught these ideas, and I've carried those like a badge of honor, rather than being willing to let go and let God reveal God in every person and situation. Ask yourself, in what way am I othering that person or group of people? Ooh, othering, right? I'm making them other rather than an aspect of me. What part of me needs to understand and feel and acknowledge what that is, what's being experienced there? And then we practice. We take responsibility and we practice living from a place of humility. that it really isn't about me at all. It's about this divine collective that wants us to rise. We are in the midst of a major breakthrough in spiritual consciousness on our planet. Everybody breathe that in a minute. We've talked about doing spiritual awakening over the years, but we are in a true rising up of the true spiritual awareness. Well, with it comes bringing forth the shadow that we can see it, take responsibility for it so we can heal it, we can love it, we can embrace that shadow and love that. If you have a small child acting out, you know, you're not like just beating them down for acting out whatever they're feeling in a moment. You're loving and embracing them because they have a need that's gone unmet. We have a need that's gone unmet in our collective consciousness to know the truth of who we are. And I am humbled each time I recognize God's presence bringing me to see those that I have somehow called different or pushed away or not wanted to honor, and those aspects of myself as well. So connect with your heart, be proactive, and embrace that shadow. This will lead you to loving yourself and to claiming your wholeness. And when you do that, you begin to live from a higher divine perspective in all of life. You know, it is your birthright to be whole. It is your birthright to have all these experiences and thoughts and feelings that are yours. But it also is your birthright to come back to the truth that I have all of this, and the light in me is the strong wants me to know that I am whole and that I can honor those parts of myself that I've denied. Who might you be in this moment, in each moment going forward, if you embrace your wholeness? You might show up with a willingness to see another and love them exactly as they are, where they are, unconditionally, because you love yourself unconditionally. I'm having a bad day, and my moment isn't so pretty. Sometimes when I learn to embrace my anger, when I first learned that, oh my gosh, it didn't come out very pretty. It came out of my mouth in odd ways. And I'm like, ooh. I would have to, you know, like go pull back and say, I'm sorry, that's not what I'm projecting my anger because I'm angry about this or that I haven't honored. So it came out nasty at other people. But it wasn't about that ever. It was about my owning that I had these feelings and I hadn't worked through them. So I invite us, the more we do this, we become clear channels and vessels for the divine light. And when the shadow shows up, when feelings show up, we don't deny them. They take over. We let them come through like that child that goes, wah, you know, and then all of a sudden it's okay laughing the next second, you know. They don't linger. They don't create stories, because we create stories and then justify them. We create whole structures and buildings and skyscrapers out of a feeling to show how powerful we are, right? And instead of allowing it in that moment, and then it dissipates, and we can go forward with a clear and authentic way of being. See, to me, this is the way that Jesus walked through the world. And he saw all that was there, and he chose what was his to do, to be present to the divine in the midst of that, but he didn't deny the pain and the suffering that he saw. We are being called to the same thing as we embrace our shadow during this time of the winter season. So I really honor you for taking the time to go within, face the fears. You know, how many of us have fear of death? How many of us have fear of public speaking? You know, how many of us have, they say that's greater than the fear of death. I don't know about that. But when we embrace and say, how many of us keep our fear of death from allowing us to live fully? Right? So when we begin to embrace that, you know what? I'm going to live fully. In this moment, I am alive in the light of the divine. And it is beautiful and magnificent and powerful. And sometimes then the grief or the anger or other things, sadness, take over in a moment. They don't stay forever, but they do express in a moment. And they give us the full circle expression of wholeness that we are. And I am grateful to be in the midst of those that honor and celebrate your wholeness. All the ways that you show up. Have a blessed and glorious week playing in the shadow. Well, I love this little Snoopy cartoon that says, okay, we learned from yesterday, we live for today, we look to tomorrow, but rest this afternoon because we're still in the winter season, right? We're still in a time of giving ourselves the rest to allow things to bubble to the surface. And it's a beautiful thing to allow that creativity out as well. So give yourself permission to rest. We are grateful to each of you for giving to Unity, to making this place possible, continuing to offer all the ways that you give of yourselves and your talents and your treasure. And we want to thank you. And those that are tithers and consistent givers have really helped us. You can do that both online or as you do it here to make a consistent gift. It will help us be able to plan as we go forward. We would like you to know there are many ways to give. You can use the UR code or whatever that's called, and give by text on 281-595-1648, or certainly mail in checks, as many of you do, and we thank you for those as well as giving here today. So let's take our gifts in our hands and let's share our blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Why be afraid if I'm not alone? The life is never easy, the rest is unknown. Up till now it's been that way, hands against stone. Spend each and every moment searching for what to believe. Coming out of the dark, I finally see the light shining on me. Coming out of the dark, I know the love that saved me is sharing with me. Starting again is part of the plan, and I'll be so much stronger holding your hand. Step by step I'll make it through, I know I can. It may not make it easier, but I felt you near all the way. Coming out of the dark, I finally see the light shining on me. Coming out of the dark, I know the love that saved me is sharing with me forever. Stand on the rock, oh, forever and ever. I'm standing forever, forever. I stand on the rock.
see, and let me give you, John V, you take the prayer box. Thank you so much for all those prayer requests that we're praying over. So together, we celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. And we say yes. Thank you for sharing us on your social media of your choice to get the word out about unity. We know it's a powerful message, and many are looking for this kind of a message that is authentic and real and practical in their lives. We have the opportunity to get your ticket still for the Valentine's soiree today right in the back. The Big Fat Surprise Book study is going to start at 12:15 instead of noon today in the Fillmore building. So that if you're still interested in joining that. And let's see, and there are handouts, so don't forget to get those on your way out, and have a great Mardi Gras week. How about that? Let's rise and say thank you. First of all, let's do our prayer, and we'll do this for all of those that are joining us online as well together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And let's join in our closing as we say thank you to those that joined us on